Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to SWTP. I know it's a shocker, we've made 2 videos in the space of a week. It might be the beginning of something new, but we're here today. Wrestlemania 33 has just finished. Overall, if you were to sum up in a brief sentence or two, Jack and Paul, what did you think of Wrestlemania 33?
Beautiful.
Paul?
Fantasio.
Right, well, there we go. 33 is out the way, and already we're moving straight on to the topic of WrestleMania 34, which, may I add, I'm hoping to be in attendance for me and Jack. Just hoping now. But that's next year, and it's already time to talk about dream matches. Now, last year on the channel, we done our dream match card for WrestleMania 33. I don't believe anybody got any matches correct, but hopefully,
No.
these matches that we come up with today will be reflected and looked upon, and hopefully some of them will come to life for next year's WrestleMania. Now, we're a man down, as you may notice. Stephen is not here with us today to do the match card video, so Paul has managed to get his hands on Stephen's match card, and the way we're going to go through it is we're going to name off our card from start to finish, what we would put on first and last, one at a time, and then at the end of the video I'll have the full complete match cards with the photos of the match-up screens like I done last year. If you watched that, if you didn't see last year's, go back and watch it and see what you think. We'll try and keep it as short as we can. I'll have all the match cards and stuff, but straight away we're going to just run through Stephen's whole card because he's not here from start to finish. I don't know if Stephen has put it in order. Has he put it in order, Paul, of like what's going on first?
He has, yes.
Right, okay, so Stephen is not here. We're going to listen to his out, and then me, Paul and Jack will go one at a time to name ours from start to finish. But Paul, would you like to tell us Stephen's WrestleMania match card, and me and Jack will rate the matches out of 10?
Okay, right. So Stephen's WrestleMania kicks off with an Intercontinental Championship ladder match between Sami Zayn, Dean Ambrose, Luke Harper, Kalisto, Hideo Itami, Ty Dillinger, and Cesaro.
Ooh.
I would give that a nice little 8, but because Kalisto is involved, I'm going to go with 7. But I like that. Jack, your thoughts?
Fair enough.
2.
Okay, second match.
Stephen's second match is The Miz taking on Daniel Bryan.
Oh, okay, right. Very obviously, a match has been thought a lot about. I'll give it an 8. Moving on, Paul. Just let's quick fire it. Right, we're not going to get ratings. Just quick fire through.
His third match is a Raw tag team match for the titles between the Young Bucks, the Hardys, and the Revival.
Oh, the Young Bucks. Oh, very nice.
His fourth match is the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, and the winner would be Braun Strowman.
Oh, okay.
Following that is the US title match between Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe.
Oh, fancy.
Then it's a SmackDown tag between American Alpha and DIY.
That's a good match. I'd enjoy that.
Then is the 4 Horsewomen title match. Don't know what title it's for, but it is the 4 Horsewomen.
Lovely job.
8th is another fatal 4-way, this time for the Cruiserweight title, as Neville takes on Austin Aries, Noam Dar, and Jack Gallagher.
Got to have a wee bit of Noam Dar in there. Nice, dub.
Number 9 is Kurt Angle versus Nakamura.
Oh, that's one I never thought of. That's a good one. That would be interesting.
Number 10 is Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns.
Oh, there's the Roman Reigns. But yeah, I never said this at the start of the video. We've got very limited rules. Last year we had quite a number of rules. This year the rules are you've just got to have a Roman Reigns match involved and 12 to 13 matches. So right, moving on to number 11.
His 11th match is the WWE title match as Bray Wyatt takes on Brock Lesnar.
Oh, that's good. Remember the runners of that being at WrestleMania 32.
Spicy.
And his main event is an Extreme Rules match for the Universal Championship as AJ Styles takes on Finn Balor.
Oh, fancy. Right, so that's Stephen's card. People listening, feel free to tell us who you think card is the best in the comments. At the end of the video, I'll have a full screen comparison so you can have a look and compare better. But as a solid card overall, I don't think it's anywhere near as good as mine. I'm just saying, I just don't think it's as good as mine. I'm proud. I'm proud of what I've assembled as mine. You might not like it, but I very much enjoy mine. Right, so me, Jack, and Paul are now going to go through one by one what's opening our cards, what's closing our cards, and I will have the pictures of the matchups on the screen and such for you all to look at. So let's start opening the show. Paul, we'll start with you. What is opening WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans for you?
It is the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
I was hoping you'll show.
God.
And the winner will be a debuting / returning Drew McIntyre.
Oh, lovely. Right, Jack, what's up in WrestleMania 34 for you?
I've got the Raw Tag Team titles and a ladder war, a rematch from Saturday, the Hardy Boys versus the Young Bucks.
Oh, very nice. I'm opening the show with the Cruiserweight title and a a 6-man ladder match. I've got Neville taking on Austin Aries, Noam Dar, Jack Gallagher, Tony Nese and Brian Kendrick. That's my opener for WrestleMania. Right, so I've pretty solid openers. I like it. I wouldn't have personally started with the Battle Royal, Paul, but if you want, you can do what you like. Second match, my second match is a no holds barred match for the United States Championship, where Dean Ambrose, who will walk in the champion, will defend his title against Braun Strowman. No holds barred, as I said. Paul.
That's a good match. I like that.
My second match is also the US title match, but is an 8-man ladder match.
8?
Yes. Neville will defend against Austin Aries, Braun Strowman, Samoa Joe, Sheamus, Cesaro, Tyler Bate, and James Ellsworth.
Now, may I ask, did you make this match just to make sure you got good people like Luke Harper on the card? It's a smart idea.
Yes, and I also wanted to make sure that James Ellsworth would be sent off a ladder through a table by Braun Strowman.
Lovely. Jack, what's your second match?
My second match is for the Cruiserweight title, and I've got Neville defending against Kota Ibushi.
Oh, fancy. Right.
From the Cruiserweight Classic, sign up.
Lovely. The third match then, Jack, what is your third match of WrestleMania 34?
It's for the US title, Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn versus Nakamura.
Oh, it's quite similar to my Universal title match. But my third match is, in fact, for the Raw Tag Team Championships, where my two favourite tag teams in the world, the Club, will defend against the best tag team in professional wrestling, the Revival, for the Raw Tag titles. I believe that would be three bald, beautiful men, one that will probably be bald at some point during his career. I think that would be nice. Paul, third match.
My third match is the women's title match, as the Raw Women's Champion Sasha Banks takes on the SmackDown Women's Champion Becky Lynch, Charlotte and Alexa Bliss.
Oh, fancy. Right, fourth match of the night.
Monster.
This is where things begin to heat up for me, I think. The fourth match of the night for me is the recently debuting Shinsuke Nakamura taking on, and this could be potentially a match of the year candidate, is all I'm saying, if it was perfected properly. Shinsuke Nakamura will take on John Cena at WrestleMania 34 for me. I think that would be a superb match. Jack, what's your fourth match of the evening?
It doesn't quite top that. I've got the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Oh, lovely.
In which this is the match that I'm having Roman Reigns in, okay? He's not getting a good match on my card. But the winner is going to be Big Damo.
Oh, Damo. It came close this year to win that. Paul, your fourth match.
My fourth match is another unification match for the tag titles. The Raw Tag Team Champions, the Hardys, take on the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Revival.
Oh, fancy. Right, fifth match of the evening as we move on quite quickly. The fifth match, this is where I throw Roman Reigns in, and it is an incredibly random match. It is going to be Roman Reigns taking on Shane McMahon, and it's the match where everybody is behind Shane. They want him to beat Roman. It's Roman Reigns trying to take over. The boss is fed up of Roman Reigns, but sadly Roman Reigns would probably win the match, but Shane McMahon would give us a moment of jumping off something. Paul, what's your match?
My fifth match is the Cruiserweight title match with Brian Kendrick taking on Rich Swann, Noam Dar and Jack Gallagher.
Lovely. Paul, Jack, sorry.
My fifth match is John Cena versus Kurt Angle.
Oh, lovely. A bit of a classic there. Right, on to the sixth match, and this is my Universal title match halfway down the card. It's quite early on, my Universal title match, as I said. But my Universal title match will be a triple threat where the champion Finn Balor will walk in and defend against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens for the Universal title. 3 former NXT champions, 3 stars of the future fighting for all the red glory. Paul, yourself.
My sixth match is The Miz taking on one of Ryan's favourite wrestlers right now, Guerrero.
Grado.
Night only.
You have Grado in your WrestleMania.
One night only. Grado will be at WWE WrestleMania.
Do you know what? I love it. I love it. That's it. You've won. You've won already, Paul. You've won already. Right, Jack. Jack, what's yours?
I've got the SmackDown Tag Titles up next with American Alpha against the Revival.
Nice. Right, well, my next match is the... Paul, your 7th match of the evening. You start us off.
My 7th match is for the Intercontinental title as Baron Corbin defends against Ty Dillinger.
Nice. Ty and Baron. Jack, yourself.
So, my 7th match is the Raw Women's title match, but it's the exact same match I said for last year's because I just want it to happen on WrestleMania. I've got Sasha versus Bayley in a 2 out of 3 falls match.
Nice. Mine's is also it's actually for the SmackDown Women's title. I'm being quite sexist. This is the only women's match I have on the card, but do you know what? I couldn't care. And it will be the champion Charlotte defending against the on a tear and still unbeaten Asuka. Charlotte and Asuka, the 2 best women wrestlers in the WWE right now, fighting at WrestleMania. Moving on to match 8, and this is one of the matches that I would be dying to see, and I think I might be the only person that has this, which is good because I thought a few people would have done it. My 8th match of the night will be Broken Matt Hardy versus Bray Wyatt. I think it would be phenomenal. I had to put it in. That's match number 8 for me. Paul.
Match number 8 for me is John Cena against Bobby Roode.
Oh, I really like that.
That'd be cool.
Don't know if it's quite Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy though. Is it Paul? Is it?
Yes.
Okay then. Jack, yourself.
Now, my next match, I've only got it here because I only learned recently from a What Culture video, shout out as if they need any more subscribers, but it was planned for WrestleMania 30 apparently, so I've got Brock Lesnar versus The Rock, because see, when you think about it, I think this could be pretty cool. Like, you wouldn't really know who's going to win, so yeah.
See, I was actually going to put that in my card and I changed last minute, but it was actually genuine. I had Brock versus The Rock and I changed it. We'll get to that later on, but that was my... So we've gave all...
Cool concept.
We gave all our match number 8s there, didn't we? We're on to 9.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Paul, start us with your 9th match of the evening.
My 9th match is a tables match between Seth Rollins and AJ Styles.
Oh, fancy. Jack, yourself.
Now, I said this to you before we recorded, but this is my weird mixed match. It's for the IC title, Cesaro versus Luke Harper versus Chris Jericho in a street fight.
Do you know what? I'm not even going to argue. I think that's quite a good match. I'd enjoy it. I'd look forward to it.
Thank you.
I don't see why it should be looked upon as a mismatch. My match is also for the Intercontinental title, my 9th match of the evening, and it is the Showman versus the Showman, the talker versus the 2 best talkers in the business. The champion Chris Jericho will walk in and defend against The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship. I'd rather enjoy that. Moving on to number 10. It's 10, isn't it? 10. 10.
Yeah.
10. Anybody got Ty? Anybody got Ty on the card? No. Right. Match number 10. Jack, start us off.
Right. Triple H versus Bray Wyatt inside Hell in a Cell.
That's a very good card. I've not got Triple H in my card, may as well just say that now. But that is a very nice match. My match number 10 is arguably the match I'd look forward to the most. I genuinely think I would. Mine's is a triple threat match for the United Kingdom Championship, where we'll see Trent Seven against Drew McIntyre against Wolfgang. IC dub till death. That is my match for the UK title. I would very much enjoy that. Paul.
That is sexy.
My 10th match is Battle of the Spooky Roots as Bray Wyatt takes on Finn Balor.
It's not quite Bray Wyatt versus Broken Matt Hardy though, is it, Paul?
Yes.
Okay, right, moving on. Match number 11, we're getting towards the end. We're into the last 3 matches of the card. My match number 11 is my Brock Lesnar match. And the man that I'm going to sign up is, people have signed the Young Bucks, Paul signed Grado. My match with the newly signed Kenny Omega. It's Brock Lesnar versus Kenny Omega, WrestleMania 34. Get it happening, WWE, please. Jack, what's your match?
My 11th match is for the Universal title, and it's the exact same as Steven. I've got Finn Balor versus AJ Styles.
Lovely. Paul, do we get yours?
My 11th match is Brock Lesnar versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
We both have Brock in the third last. Okay, second last match of the evening, and as you'll notice, mine has been left out, so it's my cooldown match, where I will have the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal on second last. It will be over quite quickly, I'd be hoping. Well, the winner would be a retiring Kane. A lovely way to send him out. I think he deserves to win it, so Kane would be winning the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Paul, what is your penultimate match of the card?
It is the WWE title match where Dean Ambrose defends against a heel Roman Reigns.
Oh.
And you'd be surprised to find out that they've actually have Reigns leaving as champion.
Oh, okay. Jack, yourself.
Mine's is also the WWE title match, but it is Samoa Joe versus Seth Rollins.
Oh, right. Well, that leads us on nicely to the point where we now stand. We have the main event of the evening. And Paul, you're going to tell us your main event of WrestleMania 34 first. On you go.
My main event is a no-holds-barred match as the Universal Champion Kevin Owens defends against the Royal Rumble winner Sami Zayn.
Oh, very nice. Very nice indeed. Kevin deserves it. Jack, no, do what? I'll go. My main event of the evening is the Royal Rumble winner Seth Rollins of the SmackDown brand taking on the WWE Champion AJ Styles, in which would be the best wrestling match of 2018. Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, main event of WrestleMania. We all dream of it happening. It's going to happen. I'm telling you, that's going to be the main event next year. Jack, what is closing your WrestleMania 34?
Now, forget that WrestleMania 33 happened, okay, with Roman and Taker. My main event is The Undertaker versus Dean Ambrose in a no-holds-barred match. And I would have Dean Ambrose winning it because it should have ended at 34. Roman shouldn't have won at 33. It should happen in the Superdome where the streak ended. And then the night after, Dean Ambrose gets the heel heat that Roman Reigns has been getting. And then Dean Ambrose is the top heel of the company.
You're a far better booker, I must say, than whoever booked the ending at 33. I would genuinely believe it. Dean Ambrose would suit that, I think, down to a T. So, before we end off the video, I say we get a full run through of the card. So, Paul, your card from start to finish as quickly as possible. Go on.
Battle Royal with Drew winning. US title ladder Neville, Aries, Roman, Joe, Sheamus, Cesaro, Bate and Ellsworth. Women's title with Banks, Charlotte, Lynch and Bliss. Tag title Hardys v Revival. Cruiserweight Kendrick, Swan, Noam and Gallagher. Miz v Grado, IC title with Corbin v Dillinger, Cena versus Rude, tables match with Rollins versus AJ, Wyatt vs Balor, Lesnar v Nakamura, WWE title Ambrose v Reigns, and no holds barred for the Universal title Kevin Owens v Sami Zayn.
Jack, your full run through of your card once more.
Raw tag titles, Hardys versus Young Bucks Ladder War, Cruiserweight title Neville versus Ibushi, US title Owens versus Nakamura versus Zayn, Andre the Giant Battle Royal with Damo winning, Kurt Angle versus John Cena, SmackDown tag titles The Revival versus American Alpha, Raw Women's title Sasha versus Bayley 2 out of 3 falls, Brock Lesnar versus The Rock, IC title Cesaro versus Luke Harper versus Y2J in a street fight, Triple H versus Bray Wyatt Hell in a Cell, Universal title Finn Balor versus AJ Styles, WWE title Samoa Joe versus Seth Rollins, and Undertaker versus Dean Ambrose no holds barred.
Lovely, and to wrap it up, my card is start with the Cruiserweight title ladder match Neville, Austin Aries, Noam Dar, Jack Gallagher, Tony Nese and Brian Kendrick. Then on to the United States Championship, no holds barred, Dean Ambrose versus Braun Strowman. The Raw tag titles, The Club versus The Revival, John Cena versus Shinsuke Nakamura, Shane McMahon versus Roman Reigns in a street fight or no holds barred type of match. The Universal title, Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, Sami Zayn in a triple threat match. SmackDown Women's title, Charlotte taking on Asuka. Broken Matt Hardy taking on Bray Wyatt after that. Then on to the Intercontinental Championship with Chris Jericho versus The Miz. The United Kingdom Championship defended by probably Trent Seven in a triple threat against Drew McIntyre and Wolfgang. Brock Lesnar then taking on Kenny Omega with the Andre the Giant. I've done that twice. Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal won by Kane, and then to end off my night would be AJ Styles and Seth Rollins for the WWE Championship. So that's it. Now I'm not going to ask Paul and Jack whose card you thought was the best, because personally I can't I need to look at the photos and then compare them. So I'm going to actually just leave a comment on the video, which I think you should do the same. And whoever's watching, leave a comment in the video of whose card you thought was the best. I hope you've enjoyed listening to our WrestleMania 34 Dream Match cards, and we'll see how many of them come true next year. I think all of us got 0 out of 8 for our cards last year, so we can only hope for a bit more luck. So thank you all for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you all next time.